The 3 secrets of self-discipline. My name is Carmen, by the way, and if you have never watched any of our videos, we talk about weight loss, mostly. Some other stuff, but we mostly talk about weight loss here. And and here's the reason why. I spent more than a decade as a weight loss failure, struggling with weight loss, topping the scale at 288 pounds, busting out of a size 22, not just wearing a size 22, but busting out of a size 22, going from diet to diet, hopping around, having a little bit of success. And by success, I mean losing 20 pounds, but only to go gain it back. And sometimes I would lose 20 pounds and then go find, have you ever found more than what you lost? So like you lose 20, you go find 22. And this was my life for more than a decade. I really had started to believe that I was just one of those people that was meant to be big, meant to be larger. I was typically the biggest person inside of the room, and it wasn't for lack of trying. I spent so much money on different diets, shakes, potions, like you name it, Spanx, all those things to try to help myself. And after a decade of doing that, I had failed every single one of them, still being morbidly obese. And it wasn't until after we had our second child that I read an article that linked obesity in parents to their kids. And I was that mom that said, I'm overweight, but my kids won't be. I'm gonna eat the cheesecake, but my kids, they're gonna eat carrots. And that night, with a toddler and an infant, having 2 kids, I'm a mom of 3 today, where I read the article and they talked about children who have parents who are overweight and obese are 200 to 400% more likely to follow in their parents' footsteps. That they would actually do what you did, not what you said. And I had heard that phrase before. I had heard people say they do what you do, not what you say. But in my mind, it was possible for me to be morbidly obese and to have skinny kids. And when I read that article that night, it really was my breaking point. It really was the moment where I said, wow, my actions are most likely going to determine my kids. And I made a decision right then and there. I wound up losing 161 pounds in 13 months, went from a size 22 down to a size 2, completely, radically changed not only the way I looked, but the way I thought, the way I lived life. And today I'm a health coach. Today I am very passionate about this subject. And so although we talk about other things, we talk about some fashion, some makeup, we do some gift guides, we do, some things like that. The primary thing that we talk about is weight loss, because my chosen profession for the past several years has been helping people go from where I was, which is frustrated and failing, to succeeding and satisfied, succeeding and sexy, succeeding and confident. And by the way, there's no number on the scale that can make you feel that way. It's just about you looking in the mirror and liking the image that you see staring back at you. And so today I'm a mom of 3. I am a wife. I am a weight loss coach. And tonight we're going to be talking about the 3 secrets of self-discipline. Because no matter what area in life you're trying to succeed at, parenting, finances, your job, if you own a business, weight loss, it's going to take this one common thing that every successful people have done, and that is self-discipline. And so often I'll talk with clients and they'll say, Carmen, oh my goodness, you just have all this self-discipline. Like you can just say no to the cheesecake. You can say no to the cheeseburger. And it's so funny to me because I spent a decade failing at weight loss. I spent a decade at morbidly obese. So clearly self-discipline was something I lacked when it came to weight loss. Self-discipline was something I lacked when it came to that area of my life. And so often people assume or think that either you have self-discipline or you don't. You're born with it or you're not. And what I want to tell you first and foremost, before we even jump in, is no one is born with self-discipline. No baby pops out of their mama's womb with self-discipline. In fact, it is the exact opposite. You're not born with self-discipline. It is like a muscle, and you develop that self-discipline through using it. So the more you use it, the stronger that muscle gets. So if you rewind 10 years ago, I didn't have any self-discipline when it came to food, exercising, health, nutrition. That's how you wind up at almost 300 pounds. I have learned the art of self-discipline. I learned that I had that muscle, even though it was little. I have worked that muscle over the years and I have developed it so it has become strong. So it is possible to go from no self-discipline or little self-discipline to a very strong self-discipline muscle, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and here's the thing. So often, have you ever wanted, like I'll talk with somebody and I'll say, hey, do you want to lose weight? And they'll be like, oh my gosh, yes. And I'll say, well, how bad do you want to lose weight? Oh my goodness, Carmen, I want to lose weight so bad. And I'll say, okay, well, the first thing we're going to do is this. Oh, well, I don't want to do that. Well, then we need to do this. Oh, well, I definitely don't want to do that. So you have to ask yourself this question. What do I want? Like, what do you really want when it comes to your health? If failure wasn't an option, what would your body look like? What would your size be? What would your butt? What would your waist look like? All right. And what am I willing to do to get it? Because there is a price that has to be paid for any success. If you want a successful marriage, it doesn't just happen overnight. And for those of us that are married, we know that. If you want to have a healthy, sexy body as you're aging and gravity is fighting against you, and no matter how much you work out or eat right, things just start to hang and sag and look a little bit different than they did 20 years ago. It just is what it is, right? What are you willing to do to get what you want? Because there are some sacrifices and there is price that has to be paid to get what you want. You're not going to have a good marriage just by wanting it. You're not going to have, you can't sit at home and just do your affirmations. I want a good marriage. I want a good marriage, and expect to get it. I can't sit at home and be like, when I was 288 pounds, I want to be a size 2. I want to be a size 2. And bam, I'm going to wake up at a size 2. Not going to happen. Would be amazing if it did. But you're never going to go from where you're at to where you want to be without some sacrifice, putting in the work, and doing these things we're going to talk about today. All right, so number 1, you have got to do the thing that you don't want to do first. Okay? You have got to do the thing you don't want to do first. So often, and society teaches us to do the thing we want to do the thing we love, and the heck with the things we don't want to do. That is not how it works. Look, the most successful people in life, if you could trade lives with anybody, and all of a sudden they had your life and you had their life. Even the most successful people, the people that look like they have the most glamorous life, they have things in their life they don't want to do. They have things in their life that suck that they have to do. And it's not about, do you get to do everything you love, or do you like everything you do? But it is about, are you willing to do them? And so take weight loss, for instance. When I started losing weight, I chose to combine nutrition with fitness for the simple reason of the end product. Like, I looked at people who just did nutrition and they had a lot of saggy skin. They had all that, they didn't have like that healthy, youthful, and for somebody starting from where I started from, I already knew I was going to have loose skin. I already knew I was going to be fighting that battle. I was morbidly obese. I was a size 22. I just didn't have 10 extra pounds to lose. But when I looked at people who combined fitness with nutrition, their before and afters were by far. They had the before and afters where you go, whoa, that had to have been Photoshopped, because that can't be the same person. And so I decided to combine fitness with nutrition, even though I didn't like healthy food and I hated fitness. Like, I hate both, and that's what I'm gonna do to lose weight. I was clearly glutton for punishment. And so I was like, all right, I'm gonna work out 6 days a week from home. I'm certainly not going to a gym because I shake whenever I do anything working out, and I don't want all y'all fit people seeing me. And so I started working out from home, and it was the one thing I did not want to do at all. I felt self-conscious about it. It didn't make me feel good. It was hard. Everything shook and shaked and jiggled and wobbled and wiggled and whatever. But if I procrastinated the thing I didn't want to do, then all of a sudden you get a phone call. The kids need something. You got to do something around the house. You got to run an errand. This happens, that happens. It's the middle of the day. You still haven't done it. And you say, I'll do it later. I'll do it tomorrow. And now you feel like crap. You feel like a failure. You feel like you didn't get done the one thing you said you were going to do, versus waking up. I don't want to do it, but I'm going to do it because this is what successful people do, and I want to succeed. So I'm going to do it first. I'm going to do the thing I don't want to do first. Have you ever heard the saying, no one ever regretted a workout that was done? Isn't that the truth? Like when you do something you don't want to do, when you do something that you don't want to do, you feel empowered. You feel like you won. You feel like, yes, I didn't want to do it and I did it anyway. You feel like a winner. And when you feel like a winner, you act like a winner. And I know that seems really cliche, but it is the truth. When you feel like you've accomplished something, when you feel like you've overcome, then you act completely different versus feeling like a failure, feeling like you've been overcome, feeling like you failed again. When you feel like that, you certainly act a completely different way. And so it's doing the thing you don't want to do first. And like every single week, my Monday and Tuesday are my busiest days of the week. We have the most homeschool, my errands, anything I don't want to do in work. Those are the days. My Monday and Tuesday are completely packed out. They are busy, and I get 80% of the stuff I need to get done in the week on Monday and Tuesday, get it done. When I'm done with Monday and Tuesday, I am like, oh my gosh, I am a bad mama jamma. I frickin' rock. I won this week. The rest of the week is downhill. Versus what I used to do, or what a lot of people do, and they procrastinate at the beginning of the week. And at the end of the week, they're rushing to play catch up, feeling like they're behind the 8 ball. They're not going to get nothing done. The week's not going the way they want it. And now they're frustrated. And so you have got to do the thing you don't want to do, that you hate to do. You have got to do that thing first. Now, I want you to imagine if you have a phone call to make. You have to call a client, or you have to call a relative and give them bad news, or you've got to call and cancel on a friend, or you've got to call and say, hey, I loaned you $500. Pay up, sucker. You have this phone call that's just causing you a little bit of stress. If you procrastinate that phone call, now you have it hanging over your head versus doing that phone call very first thing, getting it off your plate, checking it off your list, having it be done. It's going to produce 2 completely different feelings inside of your head. All right. And when you do it, it's done. It's gone. Now you can move on to the things that you like. All right. And by the way, the things that you want to do, and they're not always gonna be easy. Like in the very beginning, me working out, I made the choice to work out, even though it wasn't easy. It wasn't what I wanted. It was what I didn't want to do. Eventually, over time, I began to like it. Eventually, over time, those things became something I liked to do. It became easy. It became seamless. A couple weeks ago, we were just sitting at the Thanksgiving table, and I was just about to be able to start working out again after having a C-section and our 3rd baby. And it was like we were coming up on the 5-week mark, and I was going to be able to start working out again. And I was like, oh my gosh, Monday I get to work out again. And my nephew says, Aunt Carmen, you really itching to work out again. And I said, oh my goodness, I totally am. I really miss it. I love working out, and I cannot wait for Monday because I can't wait to start working out again. And he looked at me like I had a horn growing out of my forehead. And I said, I know, I'm one of those people. But just 6 years prior, I was the exact opposite. So you form your habits, and then your habits make you make your habits, and then your habits make you. And so my habits have made me into a very fit, almost 40-year-old that wears a size 2 and can wear a bikini after coming from a size 22 morbidly obese woman for more than a decade. Why? Because I made my habits, and then my habits made me. And so it's not going to necessarily be easy at first, but when you do it anyway, eventually it becomes seamless. It becomes a part of you. And anyway, all right, number 2. Take action every day in the direction of your goals. So here's what I'm going to say. Winners don't take time off. Now, this doesn't mean that you're working 7 days a week, 100 hours a week on your goal. What this means is every single day you're making decisions that line up with your goal. If you're trying to lose weight, you can't eat amazing for 6 days and then go hog wild on the 7th day and eat 10,000 calories and expect to have a ton of progress that week. That's where you're going to lose 3 pounds all week long, and then you're going to gain it back in one day. You have got to be willing to make decisions every single day that line up with your goals. If you want to have success and if you want to keep success. It's the same thing. The number one reason why people that lose weight gain it all back. They make different decisions to lose the weight, and then as soon as they get to feeling confident, healthy, sexy, all of a sudden they go back to their old habits and they gain all the weight back. Why? Because you stopped doing everything you did to get to where you got. And so you have got to take action every single day towards your goals. And if you're not making little decisions every single day, and it's really simple, like when I was losing weight, it was looking at the food I was going to choose and saying, okay, is this going to get me closer to my goal, or is this going to take me further away from my goal? And most of us know the answer to that decision. If I'm looking at a pint of Haagen-Dazs or Ben & Jerry's and I say, okay, if I eat this whole pint, is this going to take me closer to my goal, my weight loss goal, or is this going to take me further away from my goal? Sleeping in and not working out, is this going to take me further from my goal or closer to my goal? And so making decisions every single day that lead you closer to your goal. And they don't have to be big decisions. It's not always the big things that are going to get you to your goal. Sometimes it can be little. Sometimes it can be like, I don't work out on Sundays. I work out 6 days a week. So on a Sunday, it could be drinking water instead of soda. That could be a little decision that's going to get me closer to my goal. It could be setting my workout clothes out Sunday night for my Monday workout versus not. So it can be little tiny things. It's the little tiny things over time that add up to the big things. Yeah. And here's the thing too, it takes 21 days to make a habit. And so if you're not doing things every day that are going to get you closer to your goal, especially with weight loss, if you like eat healthy, you eat clean, and then you don't. You eat healthy, you eat clean. And look, I'm a girl that talks about balance. I don't believe in cutting out food groups. I don't believe in limiting yourself to no pizza, no chocolate, no, carbs, nothing like that. I lost 161 pounds in just over a year eating all those things, not cutting out carbs, not cutting out meat, not doing any of that, but it's got to be in moderation. I didn't eat healthy and then go off the deep end. I didn't, eat veggies and then all of a sudden on Sunday I ate pizza and ice cream, a whole pizza and ice cream. It's got to be in moderation, but it was making decisions every single day to lead me to where I wanted to go. Number 3, and this is a really big one, delay gratification, delay your reward. And we are taught as children to do this. We teach our children to do this. Have you ever said, hey, finish your dinner, then you can have a snack. Do your homework, then you can go outside and play. Clean your room, then you can play this video game. So we automatically teach our children to do the work and then they get the reward. But as adults, we don't do the same thing with ourselves. As adults, we like our reward first and then we want to do the work later. So there's no reward for you doing the work. So oftentimes when you reward yourself first, you never end up doing the work. And this is something I have done for a very, 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 very long time. I don't even know 100% where I got it from. And to be honest with you, it's something I did in my personal life and business. I never did it in weight loss for a very long time. And so it wasn't until I got desperate and I started having kids and I really wanted to succeed. And I thought, I wonder if I use this reward thing with weight loss, if it'll work there too. And it worked in all these other areas of my life, but here I was asking myself, I wonder if it'll work with weight loss. And lo and behold, it did. And now I teach our clients to do it. And it works for them. I teach my kids to do it. My husband, who's in business, he does it. In fact, he was watching a YouTube video where one of his most favorite entrepreneurs was talking about success and how he had success. And he talked about this reward thing. And I remember he was like, I'm not telling my wife. Because I'm always like, what's your reward? What's your reward? Well, anyway, so all right. So I'll give you an example. Let's just say you love your morning cappuccino or you love your morning coffee and you get up in the morning, you're like, I'm going to have my cappuccino. I'm going to have my coffee. I'm going to get my Starbucks. And versus saying, hey, I'm going to make 6 calls before I have my cappuccino. I'm going to make 6 calls before I have my coffee. I'm going to make sure I get my workout in before I do X, Y, and Z. You give yourself some work and then your cappuccino is the reward. Your coffee is the reward. Your run through Starbucks is the reward for doing the work versus I'm going to get my cappuccino first and then hopefully I'll have a good morning and I'll win the morning. No, you use that thing you love in the morning, the cappuccino, the coffee, the whatever your fix is, as the reward. Or even at night, hey, I'm just tired. I'm going to go upstairs and have dinner and watch TV. Versus, before I can watch my favorite programs tonight, I've got to accomplish this today. I've got to make this many dials at work. I've got to talk to this many clients. I've got to get these 3 things done. I need to get my workout done. Giving yourself the work to do first and then the reward later. We all work better off of we're naturally wired to be more productive and work for a reward versus getting the reward and then doing the work later. Does that make sense? And again, we do this with our kids, but for some reason as adults, and maybe it's because our parents did it with us and we were like, we don't like that. Give me the reward first. But we do it with our kids. Why? Because we know that it works. If you told your kids, have your snack and then eat your dinner, they wouldn't eat the dinner, they'd eat the snack. If you said, hey, go outside and play and then come in and clean your room, we all know they would lose track of time and the room wouldn't get cleaned. They get the room cleaned because they want to go outside and play. They get the homework done because they want to go watch their favorite TV program or whatever it is. And so it's naturally giving yourself, and you can do this with anything. You can do this with a favorite pair of shoes you want. If you're somebody who goes and gets manicures and pedicures. I did this with weight loss and cheat meals. I would say, okay, when I lose 5, when I did cheat meals, it was never based on a time frame. Like once a week, I get a cheat meal. Once a day, I get a cheat meal. Once every month, I get a cheat day. It was always based on a tangible result versus a time period. So when I lost 5 pounds, I got a cheat meal. Does that make sense? When I lost 20 pounds, I got a new pair of workout gear or a new pair of shoes, or I got to get my nails done or whatever it was. So giving yourself little rewards for things like coffee, cheat meals, whatever it is, making sure that your workout gets done before you can have X, Y, Z. Making sure, and this is an area you can use this with everything. I use this with my marriage. I use it in parenting. I use it in weight loss. I use it in business. I give myself little rewards, and I believe that's one of the reasons why I've been able to succeed in many areas of life is because I have used this little tiny thing. And you can use anything in your life as a reward. Anything. Like if you like Taco Bell, I used to use Taco Bell as a reward. When I do X, Y, and Z, I can go to Taco Bell. If not, I gotta go home and eat leftovers. I probably should have been eating leftovers more. I probably wouldn't have been 288 pounds if I wouldn't have given Taco Bell as a reward so many times. But it is self-discipline. And these three things that we just talked about, delayed gratification, doing the thing you hate first, taking action every single day. These 3 things are going to help you start strengthening that self-discipline muscle. They are going to help you master the art of self-discipline. Because again, there's not one person that I know that has succeeded that was born with self-discipline. It was a muscle that we were all given. Just like all of us have abs. You just used to not be able to see mine. All of us were given the muscle of self-discipline. The more you use it, the stronger it will get. The more you use it, the more success you will have. Even if you come from years of failing at weight loss, even if you have tried and tried and tried and you're still right where you started. I tried at weight loss for 10 years, a decade. After a decade of trying, a decade of tears and heartache and pain, I finally succeeded. But it wasn't before I started using that muscle of self-discipline. And it's the same reason why I've been able to maintain a size 2 for years and years and years, is I developed the muscle of self-discipline. It helped me lose the weight and it's helped me maintain it. And so anyway, thank you so much for joining us. If you like any of the stuff you've heard tonight, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up, ring the bell so that you're notified every time we upload. We do upload videos every single Tuesday with success tips to help you lose weight, help you through the holidays, and some extra things too. So anyway, have a great week. We'll talk to you later.